On September 20th, 2025, college football fans across the nation witnessed a shocker that would be talked about for years to come. The air was electric, anticipation high, as two teams prepared to write a new chapter in college football history. The Syracuse Orange, considered heavy underdogs by nearly every analyst, marched into Clemson's legendary Death Valley. Few gave them a chance, but they arrived with a quiet confidence, ready to take on the mighty Tigers and their roaring home crowd. Clemson, ranked fourth in the nation and favored by a daunting 17 points, was expected to cruise to another routine victory. Their fans filled the stadium with orange, certain that their team's playoff dreams would remain intact. But from the opening snap, Syracuse played with a fire and focus that caught everyone off guard. They dominated both sides of the ball, never trailing for a single moment, and ultimately stunned the Tigers with a decisive 34-21 win. For Syracuse, this was more than just a win. It was their first ever victory at Clemson's Memorial Stadium, a truly historic moment for the program and a memory that will live on for generations of Orange fans. This wasn't a fluke or a lucky break. It was the result of belief, meticulous strategy, and flawless execution. The Orange played with heart, discipline, and a sense of purpose that made all the difference. For the Tigers, who were used to championship runs and national spotlight, the loss was devastating. It marked their third defeat in just 4 games, a stretch that shattered their playoff hopes and left their fans in disbelief. As the final whistle blew, the silence that fell over Memorial Stadium spoke volumes. The once boisterous crowd was left in stunned quiet, bearing witness to the fall of a giant on their own turf. Syracuse's confidence and aggressive play didn't just win them the game, it changed the narrative for both teams. The Orange proved they could compete with the best, while Clemson was forced to confront unexpected adversity. The underdogs showed the world that with courage, preparation, and a smart game plan, anything is possible in college football. Their victory became an inspiration for teams everywhere. For Clemson, the loss exposed deeper issues within the team and marked a humbling turning point in their season. Coaches and players alike were left searching for answers and a way forward. This unforgettable upset set both programs on dramatically different paths for the rest of the season, reminding everyone that in college football, anything can happen on any given Saturday. The upset was fueled by standout performances on both sides. Syracuse quarterback Steve Angeli led with poise, connecting with Justus Ross-Simmons and Jonte Cook II for big plays. Yasin Willis powered the run game, while Will Nixon and Darrell Gill Jr. added crucial touchdowns. When Angeli left injured, backup Rickie Collins stepped in and delivered a game-sealing touchdown. Clemson's Cade Klubnik and Bryant Wesco Jr. flashed talent, but mistakes haunted them. Adam Randall ran hard, but turnovers and penalties derailed the Tigers. Syracuse's depth and execution outshined Clemson's stars in key moments. Every Orange player rose to the occasion, proving the power of teamwork. Their collective effort turned belief into reality and made the impossible possible. Syracuse head coach Fran Brown set the tone with bold decisions from the start. After an opening touchdown, he called a surprise onside kick. Syracuse recovered, stunning Clemson. Moments later, Brown went for it on 4th and 3 near midfield and converted. These gutsy calls led to a quick 10-point lead before Clemson's offense even touched the ball. Brown's aggressive strategy rattled the Tigers and inspired his team. Syracuse played to win, not just to compete. The early risks paid off, building momentum and belief. Brown's fearless approach was a masterclass in underdog coaching. His trust in his players fueled their confidence and performance. Sometimes the biggest rewards come from the boldest moves. Syracuse's offense kept rolling, overwhelming Clemson in the first half. Angeli was sharp, finding Ross-Simmons for an early touchdown and Gill Jr. for another. The offensive line dominated, opening lanes for Willis and protecting the quarterback. Will Nixon's tough touchdown run extended the lead. By halftime, Syracuse led 24-14, outgaining Clemson and silencing the home crowd. The Orange executed Brown's plan to perfection, playing with urgency and confidence. Clemson looked lost, unable to match Syracuse's energy. The first half proved Syracuse was the better team that day. Their relentless attack built a lead Clemson couldn't overcome. The foundation for the upset was set before halftime. While Syracuse played clean, Clemson unraveled with costly errors. 3 major penalties, 2 roughing the passer, 1 unnecessary roughness, gifted Syracuse 45 yards and 3 first downs. Each time Clemson's defense seemed to hold, a flag kept Syracuse's drive alive. The Tigers' lack of discipline was glaring and frustrating. On offense, Klubnik's inaccuracy and poor decisions hurt Clemson's chances. A dropped pass before halftime cost them a field goal and momentum. Adam Randall's fumble and Klubnik's late interceptions sealed their fate. Clemson's mistakes piled up, overshadowing their talent. Championship teams can't afford such errors. On this day, Clemson's self-inflicted wounds were as damaging as Syracuse's big plays. The Tigers beat themselves as much as Syracuse beat them. As halftime ended, lightning forced a 2-hour delay at Memorial Stadium. Syracuse had all the momentum, but the long break threatened to cool them off. Coaches worked to keep players focused and ready despite the uncertainty. For Clemson, the delay was a chance to regroup and adjust. Many thought the break would help the Tigers mount a comeback. But when play resumed, Syracuse picked up right where they left off. The Orange maintained their energy and execution. Clemson's struggles continued, unchanged by the delay. The storm passed, but Syracuse's dominance remained. The delay tested both teams, but only Syracuse responded with resilience. Disaster struck in the third quarter when Steve Angeli, Syracuse's starting quarterback and team leader, went down with a painful leg injury. The stadium fell silent as trainers rushed onto the field, and concern swept through the crowd and his teammates. Angeli had been the driving force behind the Orange's offense all season, and his absence left a huge question mark hanging over the rest of the game. With the game hanging in the balance, the Orange turned to backup Rickie Collins. Thrust into a high-pressure moment, Collins had barely taken any snaps all season, but now the hopes of the team rested on his shoulders. The sideline buzzed with nervous energy as he warmed up, knowing he was about to face one of the toughest defenses in the conference. Instead of playing it safe or letting nerves get the best of him, Collins stepped onto the field with remarkable poise and confidence. He took command of the huddle, quickly earning the trust of his teammates with his calm demeanor and sharp focus. On a crucial drive, Collins led the offense down the field, making smart decisions and accurate throws. He capped it off by delivering a perfect 18-yard touchdown pass to Ross-Simmons, threading the ball between defenders and igniting the crowd. That score stretched the lead to 34-14, crushing Clemson's hopes of a comeback and sending a wave of excitement through the Syracuse fans in the stands. Collins's performance proved Syracuse was more than just one player. The team rallied around their new quarterback, showing unity and belief in each other. The team's next-man-up mentality shone through, as every player stepped up to support Collins and keep the momentum going. Collins's clutch play under pressure became a defining moment in the upset, showing his ability to rise to the occasion when it mattered most. Syracuse's depth and resilience were on full display, as backups and starters alike contributed to the team's success. The Tigers had no answer for the Orange's determination and relentless energy, as Syracuse continued to dominate both sides of the ball. Collins's heroics not only sealed the win, but also inspired his teammates, proving that anyone on the roster could step up when called upon. Syracuse proved they were ready for any challenge, showing the heart and depth of a true contender. For Clemson, this loss was historic, and not in a good way. The Tigers, a team that had become synonymous with dominance and consistency, suddenly found themselves in unfamiliar territory. The shockwaves from this defeat rippled through the fan base, leaving many to wonder how things had unraveled so quickly. For years, Clemson had been the standard-bearer of college football excellence, but now doubt crept in. The Tigers fell to 1-3, their worst start since 2004. The empty seats and somber faces told the story. This was a program in crisis. Fans who had grown accustomed to victory were left searching for answers, as the scoreboard reflected a reality few could have imagined just weeks earlier. Under Dabo Swinney, such a collapse was unthinkable. Swinney, who had built Clemson into a perennial powerhouse, now faced the greatest challenge of his coaching career. His leadership, once unquestioned, was suddenly under the microscope as critics and supporters alike wondered if the magic had faded. Just a few seasons ago, Swinney was hoisting championship trophies and leading parades through Clemson. The program's rise had seemed unstoppable, with national titles and playoff appearances becoming the norm. But now, the contrast was stark. a reminder of how quickly fortunes can change in college football. The defeat ended their championship hopes just 4 weeks into the season. For a team used to playing deep into the postseason, the abrupt end to their ambitions was a bitter pill to swallow. The early exit from contention left players and coaches grappling with disappointment and uncertainty. Swinney, once untouchable, now faced tough questions and mounting pressure. The media scrutiny intensified, and every decision was second-guessed. The weight of expectations pressed down harder than ever, as the program's loyal supporters demanded answers and accountability. His post-game comments revealed the strain. "If Clemson's tired of winning, they can send me on my way." Swinney's frustration was palpable, his words echoing the tension and uncertainty swirling around the program. It was a rare glimpse into the emotional toll of a season gone awry. Quarterback Cade Klubnik's mistakes continued, including a game-sealing interception. The pressure on the young quarterback was immense, and each error seemed to compound the team's struggles. The offense, once explosive, now sputtered at critical moments, unable to find its rhythm. 4 straight games with turnovers highlighted Clemson's struggles. Ball security, a fundamental of winning football, had become a glaring weakness. Each turnover not only cost the Tigers points, but also eroded their confidence and momentum. The loss symbolized a potential decline for a once dominant program. The body language on the sideline told the story: heads down, shoulders slumped, a sense of disbelief hanging in the air. For Clemson, the fear wasn't just about one bad season, but about what the future might hold. Discipline, execution, and confidence, all hallmarks of Clemson's past, were missing. The little things that once set the Tigers apart now seemed to be slipping away, replaced by frustration and inconsistency on both sides of the ball. The Tigers' aura of invincibility was shattered. Opponents no longer feared a trip to Death Valley, and the mystique that had surrounded Clemson football for years was fading fast. The fall of Clemson in 2025 was as dramatic as it was unexpected. For a program that had reached the mountaintop, the sudden descent served as a sobering reminder. In college football, nothing is guaranteed, and even the mightiest can stumble. This upset sent Syracuse and Clemson in opposite directions. For Syracuse, it's a program-defining win under first-year coach Fran Brown. The victory boosts recruiting, confidence, and national respect. The Orange now aim higher, eyeing a top spot in the ACC. Syracuse is no longer just another team. They're a threat. For Clemson, the loss forces a hard reset. Their focus shifts to salvaging the season and regaining bowl eligibility. Swinney and his staff must fix deep-rooted issues. The dynasty's future is uncertain, and the rest of the ACC senses vulnerability. This game changed perceptions and set new expectations for both teams. The echoes of Syracuse's upset will be felt for seasons to come.